Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it, babe. Yeah, I said it. I fuck a title.
Hey everybody, how you doing? See, all of this stuff is so different, new technology is so great. All right, so it was easier for me to do this to answer your questions versus write it out, just because I'm in between sessions, readings, and other stuff that I'm doing. Turn on this music. So, one of the questions that I had from someone, let me pull it up really fast. I don't know if y'all can still hear that or not. All right. One of the questions came from someone in the group, and they said, basically, it's talking about the law of attraction, but is really talking about how to remove yourself from a poverty mindset. Let's see. As soon as I can pull it up. It says, "Good morning, Jonathan. Hold on, Wi-Fi down, blah, blah. But I was wanting to know, how can I attract money into my life and break the cycle of poverty, not having enough?" So when y'all think about the law of attraction, or you think about this universal law, what I really want you to, first off, what I want you to do is I want you to look at your life. I want you to look at the people that you surround yourself with. I want you to look at the people that you talk to. I want you to look at who you talk to on a day-to-day basis. One of the best ways to identify how the law is working for you in your life is by looking at what you already have in your life right now. So are things working for your highest and greatest good, or are things working against the good that you're choosing for yourself? So I want you to really think about that and to use that, okay? When you think about the law of attraction is really based off of the principle giving before you receive. Okay, so you want to think about it this way. When you have money, or when you're thinking about money, or you're talking about money, or whatever, how do you talk about money? How do you feel about money? And how often do you give money? Meaning, if you hold something, what happens? It gets stuck. So money are just things in your life. So let's deal with money right now. That's nothing more than a vibration. That's a tool. Money is really is paper, but it's really energy. I like to think for myself, I like to think of money as God in action. Somebody just told me a couple of weeks ago something that was so powerful. They told me, because I was talking to them about just everything, and I was like, well, once I make a certain amount of money, I stop. I don't like pushing beyond what I have, because I just don't, I didn't previously. And they said that money can make an emergency a mere inconvenience. I was like, wow. And they said money is only a tool to get you where you want to be, to get you where you need to be, versus allowing you to stay in the cycle of constantly chasing it. So when you think about how to get more, it's three different things you want to look at. What are you giving? What are you thinking? And what are you believing? So all of this is a science. There's a science to all of it. And the mystics, the sages, the elders, they all know this science, and they know how to work it versus talk about it, because there's a big difference between having lip service. And again, like I talked about in the previous video or on the last live or whatever, it's easy to pick up a book and be like, okay, this sounds great. Oh my God, okay, I can track things. I got to think it into existence. But that only will go so far, because you have to think of it this way. Your thoughts fuel your beliefs, okay? And your beliefs are basically the constructs of your reality. So you look at your life, and your life only give back to you what you believe. Now, there are steps that you can take to move past and break through your belief system, your BS system, okay? And that's when we move into the process of, what do we know? I'm going to figure out how to get words to pop up on the screen. That's cool. And I figured that out. Trust me. These videos going to be lit. They going to be lit. I see my hair. Hold on. I've been doing readings all morning, so, I ain't have to look at myself. But, so when you ask the question how to remove yourself or get out of a poverty mindset. You really have to begin the process of knowing yourself. You have to pay attention again to what you're thinking, to how you feel, and to really how do you feel about money? How do you feel about money? And you got to look at what are you holding on to. Another thing too that Spirit just told me about that I think is so key. Sometimes we can be praying for money or knowing for money, but we can have certain individuals around us energetically that's blocking our money. So sometimes if you've noticed, sometimes you can have people around you, and some of us can do the prayer, God, if there's anybody around me that shouldn't be around me, release them from my life. Okay, cool. So once they leave your life, you start noticing that energy starts to flow. Things start to happen. So I want you to think about having a glass. Okay. So the water in here is God. But certain people in your life or certain situations that you're not letting go of, they're ice cubes. So guess what? You have the more ice you have in here, even though it's water, God expressed, is not giving you the fullness of everything that you are and everything that you deserve. So what you have to do, you have to pour the ice out. Or you have to take at least some of the ice cubes out. So what? You get more water. You get more God. And so now that the water is like this, now you can begin to manipulate it any way that you choose. Okay? Hopefully that example worked. So poverty mindset. Poverty mindset, there's no difference between a poverty mindset and a wealth mindset. The only difference is what you're willing to do and what you're willing to sacrifice to get what it is you want. Everything comes with sacrifice. Every gift or every large blessing and not so large blessing comes with a sacrifice. You have to be willing to give up something to get something. It just is what it is. If you want a service, you got to give up some money, so that you can get the fullness of the value of it. Nothing comes free. Nothing comes without a price. But again, it comes to the point of what are you knowing for yourself? So law of attraction, sometimes you have to give yourself out the hole versus try to prepare to build yourself out the hole. There's a difference with that. Hey, Tanya, how do you unblock creativity? There's so many different ways to unblock creativity. I'm gonna tell you for you intuitively, you need to do a chakra clearing and chakra balancing. So I would look on YouTube and find a chakra clearing, chakra balancing meditation, and I would tell you to do that. Also, another good thing too, because you're extremely empathic as well, I would say do a sage bath. You can watch the video for that. It's on the YouTube channel, but it's somewhere in the group as well. In the videos, I make some sage water and just kind of start cleaning yourself off with it. Just doing that, okay? Also, another technique that Spirit is saying for you is to write. Write until you don't feel blocked no more. Sometimes blockages come from an aspect of us not wanting to jump where we know we're supposed to be jumping. So it's like this. When you pray and you talk to God and you're like, God, I want to be a millionaire. God, I want to have a relationship. God, I want to do this. God always responds back to us through our thoughts and through ideas and through inspiration. So you can say, God, I want this. And God could say, write a book. God could say, go back to school. God could say, move to a different country, move to a different state. And we can be like, oh, move to a different state, go somewhere else. Our mind starts to go back and forth because we can't comprehend it. Also, key point. Dang it, man. I wish I heard the thing where it just pop up. Key point. Remember, the way that you're fully accessing the spirit is by not understanding what's being downloaded into your spirit. You won't really fully understand spirit when you're working with spirit, and this is why you have to learn how to develop yourself. And intuition is not something I feel like you really can develop, because I feel intuition is natural. It's something you have to learn how to pay attention to. As you're paying attention to yourself, your thoughts, your belief, your life, because one of the biggest ways that you can understand the prophecy over your life is by looking at it. If it's going good, great. If it's not going good, something's wrong. Okay? So intuition is something that you naturally have, but you have to begin the process of trusting it. You have to begin the process of being able to jump. You have to be in the process of knowing when to sit still. when to stand up. You have to know. So again, I said in the previous video, you have to learn how to trust God enough to know when to let go and let God. So hopefully that kind of answered your question, Tanya. Hopefully. So back to the, what's up, Mitch Cunningham? How you doing? So when it comes back to the poverty mindset, how do you shift that so you can get out of the process of not having enough? To the person that asked this question, really pay attention to your cycles. Really pay attention to your cycles, and really pay attention also to your desire. Really pay attention to what it is you actually want. Because a lot of times your life is not in alignment with what you desire because you're too afraid to actually go after it. And when it comes to anything, regardless, if you don't, that's what I love about myself. I'm going to say that. I'm going to give myself toot the horn. As much as I love spirituality, as much as I love law of attraction or these different things, like even with the law of attraction, I always go to universal laws because law of attraction is nothing more than the law of giving and receiving. Really, it's the law of giving. If you take the law of attraction, now you make it the law of giving. The law of attraction is you give out to receive back. It's like your word. The Bible says your word shall not return unto you void. So whatever you send out comes back. Okay, the golden rule, treat others the way you want to treat yourself. Okay, cool, great. We got that. We got those two sayings, two concepts. So that means that you have to learn how to become the thing that you wish to see in your life. So, Gandhi says, be the example or be the change that you wish to see in the world. Great. So how do we actually get in the process of actually becoming it when we don't see the evidence of things in our life? I can answer this two different ways. The first way is you actually do see evidence of the law working. The law, universal laws are working 24/7. Even though you can't see it, they're always working. Well, actually, you can see it. You can see it by the people you're attracting into your life, the situations you're attracting into your life, the things that continuously happen over and over. That's how you know the law is working. So, and then other thing is things don't happen overnight. It's a process, patience, one step at a time. Okay, we build up. So I have to write this down so I can know how to explain it right. Law of attraction, you're dealing with three different concepts. You're dealing with vibration, you're dealing with consciousness, and you're dealing with magnetism. And I'll try to do like a thing where I'm actually writing it out, a tutorial on this as far as going further in depth with it. So vibration is, if you know what vibration is nothing more than energy, but vibration goes up and down. So you wake up in the morning, you be like, oh my God, my vibration's good. I feel great. So you feel excited. You're ready to accomplish life. You're ready to go after the things that you want. Or you can wake up one morning and you feel low and you're discouraged, you're down, you're depressed, you're confused. Excuse me. All right. So key number one, you have to learn how to own your vibration, which equals responsibility, personal responsibility, meaning not blaming everybody else for your BS, not blaming everybody else for your stuff, because if you can't own it, you can't override it so that you can achieve what you want to achieve. Okay. Second thing, consciousness. Consciousness is basically who you are. Consciousness, I can break it down on so many different levels. And these are a lot of the things I teach in the private groups. Like I have this group here, but I also have groups that I do, throughout the week as well, that we work on all of this stuff as far as to make it more personal to you. Consciousness deals with your whole being. So consciousness is something that's also broken down, whether it's your higher self, it's your ego, it's your lower self, it's your unconscious mind. It's broken down. Consciousness is everything that you are. When I say that, it's meaning your thoughts, your beliefs, your triggers, your concerns, your worries, your fears. It's everything. So it's like this. You could say you want to be a multimillionaire. You can have the thought process of it, but you may not have the consciousness of it. And my minister, one of my mentors, told me this one time. I was like, yo, I want to be this. I want to have this. I want to have this, all of this stuff. And she walked up to me one day and she gave me $100. And I think I told her, I wrote down in a scripting class that I wanted to be a millionaire. I felt like I had the consciousness of that. And she gave me $100. And I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, yo, and she said, you're not ready. to be what you say you're ready to be. And I was like, what you mean? And she was like, because you got excited. You don't get excited over things you already know you deserve. So if you're working at your job and your boss comes and give you some pennies, a jar full of pennies, and say, thank you for your service, you go look at your boss like, what the hell? What pennies? You know? Or if somebody come and they're like, oh, I'm gonna give you $100,000. Why? You'll get concerned. You'll get scared because you're like, why? Unless you have the consciousness of that thing where you know this is what I deserve you. This is the value I place within myself. Like, I have value. Okay? And we can go into this further, but I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna keep it there. Then you have magnetism. So 3 different principles: vibration, consciousness, magnetism, or magnetism. Magnetism pulls. So if your vibration is high, so if you want to be a multimillionaire and your vibration is up here, or let's say, no, your vibration is here, but let's say being a multimillionaire is up here. And right now you're vibrating on the consciousness of $50,000. You can't magnetize $1 million because you have a consciousness, your level of consciousness is on 50,000. So you can't really pull it. So you have to do what? You have to build your consciousness, build your life, build your mind, build you so that you can build up and go to what you need to go to mentally. And y'all tell me if y'all understanding me and following me. So I know some people are watching this stuff, but y'all let me know if y'all understanding and following me. So basically that's the thing when it comes to poverty mindset, or when it comes to the basics of, like, some of the basics of law of attraction or universal law. The art of giving. So remember 3 different concepts: vibration. Always watch your vibration. Always watch your consciousness. Always develop your consciousness. Always feed your consciousness. So let's change consciousness to another word: mind. Not brain, but your mind. Always feed your consciousness something that is going to help you become the person that you desire to become. Okay? Consciousness building is not about doing, it's about becoming. There's a difference. Study it, research it. You'll find the answer. All right. Another question I got was about peace versus happiness. Someone asked me what I thought about, like, why is it so different when they're like, oh, I want to find peace, or I want to find happiness. I just want to be happy. You don't really want to be happy, because why? For me, this is my belief. You know, this is me. You know, things can change, but I don't think this is going to change for me. It's going to evolve, but it's not going to change. Happiness is something that somebody can give you. Oh, I'm happy when I'm in a relationship. Oh, I'm happy when I got friends around. Oh, I'm happy when I got some money in the bank. Oh, I'm happy when I'm able to do this. But it does not always sustain you, because happiness, you happy one day, you can be sad another day. Versus when you have peace, it's like nothing can really change that, because you know that things are going to happen the way that they happen. So your peace is connected to a knowing of yourself, versus happiness is connected to a belief of what's going on around you at that time, or what's happening to you in your life. So happiness to me is based off of a belief, where peace is based off of your knowing. What are you knowing for yourself? Another question I had was about meditation. You have so many people that's having issues when it comes to meditation. Meditation is really learning how to sit. I'm going to tell you, if you have issues with meditation, it's, for me, through my personal experience, because I think when it comes to meditation, it's so hard to really describe it, because there is not a one size fits all. Everybody have to find their way of meditation. It's hundreds of different meditations, and I do not know all of them. I know the ones that I have personally practiced and that I personally work with, but meditation is the act of learning how to sit and listen lowly, deeply. Meditation is the aspect of learning how to sit and listen. If you are afraid of who you are, you're not going to really be able to sit for a long period of time. Why? Because you're scared of your truth. And what I would tell a person if they're in coaching or if they're working with me, I'd be like, you're afraid of your power. You can't. Power is neither good nor bad. It just is. It's kind of like electricity. It's neither good or bad. It just is. A tornado is neither good or bad. It just is. Hurricane, neither good nor bad. It just is. Donald Trump. Nah, I think he just bad. I was about to say something else, but whatever. Anyway, switching it. Meditation. So my recommendation when it comes to meditating, this is my recommendation. Start out with just learning how to sit in silence, because I think sometimes the word meditation scares people because you think as soon as you sit down, you have to empty out your mind of everything. You don't. I would say start out with just sitting for 5 to 7 minutes. And it's something I'm giving y'all that I normally only get in my coaching students, like the people I'm working with. But I want y'all to sit for 5 to 7 minutes a day in silence and just sit. And, whatever thoughts come, let them come and let them go. If you're sitting there and you start thinking while you're sitting for these, 5 to 7 minutes, oh my God, I gotta go take out the laundry. Let it come. Let the thought come and let it go. Let the thought come and let it go. Oh man, I need to call my sister, Susu. Let the thought come. Let the thought go. Oh, I need to call, I don't know, whatever else comes to your mind. Let the thought come and let the thought go. And learn how to sit. That's the act of spirituality and part of the work. A lot of us, we love to learn the concepts and love to do what we want to do, but we don't want to do what we don't want to do if we don't feel like we're getting anything out of it. Spirit told me a long time ago, sitting in meditation is having faith that something is happening in the unseen realm without having to actually see it. So it's kind of like when people tithe, like people don't understand the principles of tithing. We think, I think some churches take advantage of people in tithing, but the Bible says, Malachi 3:10, bring all treasures and gifts to the storehouse of the Lord. Okay, what you're doing is you're actually working with the law of attraction, the law of giving, because you're giving without expectation of anything in return. Okay, so tithing is actually a physical principle or a physical tool that you use to strengthen your mind. What you're saying is, God, I trust you with my finances. God, actually, no. You're saying, God, I trust you with my life. So you're saying you're giving so that you know that you're receiving in all areas. So you're giving from one part of your life so that you can receive in all. So it's actually also a form of accountability. There's so many principles. And that's the thing, you guys, like, there are so many principles in this world. So many. There's not a one size fits all. So there are certain things that people will agree with me on, and there are certain things that people will not agree with me on. And I am okay with that, because what I can say is what I do for me works very well for me. Okay? And that's the goal as we're moving through life. You have to find what works for you. All right, so wanted to come on, do this live. It's so good to be able to do it this way. I love it. So I'm gonna start trying to do this more. I'm gonna start doing more mediumship sessions and probably more pop-up sessions, because I actually need to practice more mediumship and just kind of going directly to connecting to loved ones that have crossed over, that want to communicate with you guys. So that's actually something I'm going to start pushing myself. And also, the students that I have that's in my intuitive development course thing right now, I'm going to start doing I don't know if I'm going to do a weekly or bi-weekly, but we're going to have a time where you guys can come on and we're basically going to read you. And I'm going to have them practice and I'm going to practice. Even though I do a lot of readings and stuff already, weekly, daily, it's really good to be able to work and to give back. So it's not about what you have, it's about what you do. All right, remember that. Thank you. Leave comments. Go to my YouTube. Tell me what you think. Tell me what else you want me to do. I love criticism, as long as it's constructive. Comments. Just telling me what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, so I can make sure I do it better. All right. Thank you. Bye. For real.